Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. This video will be slightly embarrassing for me to make because remember in the previous video where I talked about this brake issue that I was having, could be a wild goose chase. It turns out that it probably was. First of all, I would like to thank all of you guys for the comments. I haven't responded to them all. I do read every one of them, and I have gotten so much great input for this troubleshoot on the brakes. A few of you seems to have missed the fact that this does not have a propulsion valve. There is no brake valve adjustment thingy mounted on the rear axle of the Rallye. On the 106 with the ABS it's a different matter, but on this one there is no reduction on the brake force coming from the master. There is a reduction inside the wheel cylinder. It is not adjustable. It does not alter the brake pressure with weight. So it won't make any difference if I load the trunk with a lot of stuff or something like that. The brake force will still be the same. But the issue I was having was the braking system was only delivering around 50 kilos on each wheel, but it was braking straight. In the previous video I changed what I normally do not do. I changed the brake cylinder. Even though I couldn't really see anything wrong with it, it just made sense that something was up with those. Actually, my theory was it was the wrong one, or it wasn't the right dimensions or something like that, because the front brakes are just fine and they share the same brake pressure. So if something was wrong with the brake pressure on the rear, it should be wrong on the front as well. And you can lock up the front brakes quite easily, so I don't think that's the problem. The next bit would be the lines going to the brake cylinders, but as mentioned, it's two lines coming from each cylinder. So the chance of having a brake pressure drop in those lines and it to be the exact same on each side is very slim. What I ended up doing was just to set the brakes up as good as I could. I rechecked the handbrake mechanism. I adjusted that to spec. It needs to grab a little bit at fourth click by adjusting the cable. I adjusted the drums out all the way as far out as I could get it. I can actually show you that, because as you can see I have these off again, and there's a reason for that, because these needs to be changed each and every time you take them off, because you are peening them into the groove on the axle. What you can do is you can take the one from the right side and put on the left side, then chances are it's not the same place that you will indent. But I have already done that, so I'm going to change this for brand new ones. So this right here is the self-adjuster mechanism. And let me show you what happens when I press the brake pedal. Could you see that? It's adjusting out. This, of course, should happen by itself with the drums on. So what I did first time around was to just adjust it out, so it was pretty easy to get the drum on. Then I would expect it to adjust out. A trick is to just press the brake pedal a couple of times, keep it down, and pull the handbrake. That will normally adjust stuff out. Not on this one apparently. So what I did was I made it click a couple of times, tried to put the drum on, make it a click a couple of more times, put the drum on, until that I could no longer put the drum on, and then I just gave it a click back and put the drum on. Then it's very, very tight. It's not dragging, it needs to free spin, but that just made the difference. Then I also roughed up the brake shoes just to make them bite a little bit better with some sandpaper. And then I went back to the MOT station and it delivered 85 kilos per side, which is all right. It's still not great, but it's all right. And I don't think they are supposed to brake that much because it's a very light car. And you don't want it to overbrake on the rear axle. I have tried to find documentation about how much brake force this is supposed to give from factory. I have had no luck with that, but I don't think 85 is that far off. I would maybe expect to see 90 or something, but yeah, it was okay for the MOT. 50 was not. What I'm worried about is that this could be back to 50 in a couple of months. So what I think is the right thing to do, and it's not my car, so I'm not the one to decide, but I would probably change these brake shoes for a better quality, something with a little bit more bite in it. But right now it is noticeably different than before, so there is a clip of it right here. The problem with that clip is the roads are wet, and they have been quite wet for the last few days, so it's not exactly comparable to the old clip. But as you can see, the rear end is not lifting as much on the last clip as it was on this clip. And it's feelable on the road also that it's not doing as much of a forward motion when braking. It's more like a downwards motion a little bit. So it's definitely better, and it's good enough for the MOT. I'm just a little bit embarrassed that it's... I have done quite a few brake drums. I'm not a complete newbie in brake drums. So this being this hard to get right is surprising me. But it was the same last time. I think it even was the same last time again. Now I got this video, so next time I'm going to MOT this car, I can see that video and remember what needs to be done. But anyway, thank you for all the comments. Those were great. Did I go a little bit too far? Maybe. If the drums goes on, it's fine. Yeah, I went a little bit too far. So let's just click it back. It's right about there. Refit the drum. As you can see, it's very tight. But when it's on, it starts to free spin, so that's fine. It's just very hard to get it off again. So yeah, that's the way it is. Let's fit a new one of these. And then I'm gonna torque it up to 140 Newton meter. That's right there. Like that. With the cab on. See you in a couple of years. I'm gonna do the same on the other side and then take it for a spin. You join me a bit down the road from my test drive. The engine is up to temperature now, and I have just realized how much I miss having a GTI, registered GTI in my life. Oh, this is not mine, but this is going to be expensive for me that I had to fix this for my friend, because I need a GTI in my life again, that's for sure. I'm just gonna put it out there that having a GTI car from the 80s or the 90s is probably the most fun driving experience possible on normal roads, daily roads, within the speed limit. And yeah, they are just perfect for this kind of motoring. And the 106 Rallye is a really special one. I love the gearing on them because it's so short. The ratios are so short that you can really go around it. Oh, there's a deer. Come on. Don't want to hit you. And we're off. These are amazing driving machines. Listen to the gear ratio. The drop in revs from gear to gear is just amazing. I love it. And the 106 is a 1.3 engine. It delivers 100 horsepower, 98 maybe, I'm not sure. So it's not the most powerful engine, but it's a very revvy engine, and you really need to make it spin to produce power. There's not a lot of power down here, for instance, at 1800 RPMs, full power. nothing really happens. You need to go down to second gear maybe and then just floor it, and then you get some power up in the high range, 6,500 RPMs or something like that. It really moves. And there is a pheasant. I need to get my Visa GTI on the road ASAP. I could also take the Austin Metro, the Rover Metro GTI would also be fun, but it's a bigger project. The Visa GTI, I think I could get on number plates in a couple of weeks. I have been enjoying driving my Porsche, but I think it's time to get back in a GTI. That is what I live and breathe for when it comes to motoring. It is hot hatches from the 80s and the 90s. That is what really makes me tick. Either that or a 2CV or something else very slow and silly. But these are just the best driving experiences in the world. I might be the wrong one to ask. I haven't even driven a real Porsche or anything like that. But this is just so much fun. It's so much fun. But it's not a lot of fun when you meet a Citroën Berlingo on the road, on my small roads, who apparently doesn't really know these roads, or maybe are doing something else than driving. We are currently just shy of 40 kilometers per hour. It is a bit slow. So anyway, the brakes are still a bit of a mystery. They are working fine right now, and I can feel the braking force is way better in the rear. It feels controlled still, everything is fine. But I don't really trust the brakes to be good in, let's say, a couple of months' time. I think they will go down in power because, yeah, maybe the self-adjusting mechanism was a bit stuck before. It's not stuck now. I cleaned everything up, but it's just weird that it's the second time that we are having issue with these brakes. I think it would be wise to try some better quality shoes, maybe. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the help that you guys gave me on this problem. It was really helpful, and I really like these kinds of fault finding where you guys are just a big of a part of the diagnostic as I am, because I do release the videos before having fixed the problem, so it's usable information that I get from you guys, and it just makes this little car community seaside garage thing makes so much sense, and it's fun. So thank you for that, and see you in the next one, where I will probably start working on the Visa GTI, because right now I need a GTI in my life. This is so much fun. If anyone have a nice hot hatch from the 90s or the 80s and want to swap it for a Porsche 924, I might be interested. See you in the next one. Woohoo! Oh, this is fun. Take a look at this. It's already there. Let's get to work.